Hey guys, today with the topic shittests or congruence tests. Hopefully you know by now that women are all hypergamous somewhere. That is, they want the best possible man they can get. Now this is not something you are for them at the beginning and then the status stays permanently. That will be put to the test over and over again and tested by them. Not like a test in school or that you imagine that your friend now goes here and thinks, today it is once again so far, now he must go through and pass this. No, there are little things in everyday life to which you have to react congruently and according to your frame in order to pass them. If you fall through one, no problem, no man is perfect and depending on the current situation it is normal common sense that a woman does not drop you immediately. But, the more of it you mess up the bigger the problems become internally for the woman and the more violent the shittests turn out to be. If she doesn't respect you anymore, you will realize that you don't have a chance to react calm and relaxed. Then the train has already sailed, because failed shittests trigger a loss of attraction in her. Attraction is such a concept, if you want me to describe it to you figuratively, imagine a scale from 1 to 100. From 50 she wants a relationship with you, in the limit she is at 100. Something like that and it always fluctuates a bit in between. Depending on life circumstances, her idea of all this, and especially by your actions and how you generally react. Whether you live up to your potential and pass their shit tests. And now one of the very most important things in terms of attraction, why is it called a congruence test? What does congruent mean? Let's ask a dictionary, it means, congruent in all points. Completely the same. It means that you are the same. It means that your behavior matches what you as a man represent in their eyes. That you can keep what she has promised herself from you. A big mistake in all this is not to have internalized your frame and to see yourself as something you are not. I see many of you thinking about how to act towards her now, what would be the alpha move in the situation and what you better avoid. Do you think she doesn't notice subconsciously when you act differently on the outside than you feel on the inside? Do you think that this uncertainty and thinking about different solutions does not reach her? Not only women, but other people notice when you don't act the way you are used to. Especially when they spend a lot of time with you. Your behavior, your attitude, your charisma, it's not congruent. Shittests are seen in my eyes far too much as possible negative turning points, because some morons on the internet spread that these are solely responsible for the woman running away from you or monkey branched. If I present you with a questionnaire and say, don't count anything, just do how you feel, then there won't be as much stress as if I tell you, your whole relationship depends on this test. In the latter case, you think 3 times about how you act, become insecure, and don't give yourself the way you would under normal, nice circumstances. It would be wrong to say that the test doesn't count. But do not put yourself under pressure. You will only achieve the opposite or you will only live to see your partner as something she is not. Because consciously it is not going on 3 times and it is only testing if you behave the way she thought at the beginning. And in the beginning she, hopefully, thought she enters your frame and feels safe, carefree, protected and feminine in it. For this, of course, you first need a male frame and must not let yourself become feminized or develop too many female characteristics within the relationship. That's one of the reasons why I think it's so important to create a basis for yourself before you seriously throw yourself into a relationship. I don't think I'm talking to anyone here who hasn't had any experience with women. There it helps of course to collect first experiences. How this ends I can tell you mostly, and unfortunately already, but there is nothing against it. There is less at stake than later and especially the men still have plenty of time to build up something. The frame is everything. If you claim to be someone with a frame and are still thinking about your decisions within the everyday relationship or dating, about whether this or that would be the right behavior now, what would be beta and what would be alpha, yes then you are not ready yet. Then don't expect that to change, but that you will learn from the current situation. That maybe now is the time to establish your frame by practicing your desired behavior. But don't assume that you can pass every shit test with it now. Mostly it is already such a small thing that makes the event seem funny to the woman and funny is already enough for her to think about it. I am usually against statements like, be yourself. Because that ensures with such people, who think they already have everything, that they don't kick themselves in the ass although it would be bitterly necessary. In that case, however, your innermost being must be congruent with your behavior. Simply be congruent. And it must be built on a foundation, a frame, that just doesn't see any lack and that doesn't depend on attention from the outside. One that knows that everything would be and the earth would keep spinning if nothing came from the outside now. One who is generally able to lead, to assert himself and who rests in himself. Nothing is more unattractive than a shit test. Let's take as an example something that tests if you react jealous, e.g. that your girlfriend is raving about your new colleague. Nothing is worse than when you become insecure and start to put him down or try to talk her out of it. Especially when it wasn't even meant that way. If it is already obvious that she has an eye on him, then you make an announcement that it just doesn't work that way. But according to the motto, up to here and no further. If you cross this line, then you know where the door is. You don't have to say anything about the door, it's just your presence in the moment when you stand behind it and she notices that you are completely calm and honest. If you do this only to keep her away and you are unsure, then she notices that. There is no question about it, because then you are exaggerated in your pronunciation or body language. Or you betray yourselves in another moment. But there is nothing that betrays you, if you stand behind it, know your value and believe in it. That is the most important thing, not that you are permanently on guard within a relationship or when dating, because the next shit test could come. This is also a game somewhere, which increases the attraction to you and strengthens interpersonal bonds. See it as such and play along. If you are dogged, what kind of relationship is that? You don't have to be at a loss for words, it can be a real war of words, where you both end up, everyone outside thinks they're crazy, if that ever happens in front of others, and you both grin at each other and think to yourselves, good thing I have him or her. Because women never shittest, if they see no more potential in you. Then they answer you coldly or want to get rid of you. Of course, you have to be able to distinguish between a clear no and a shittest when dating and not give up directly if she just wanted to see if you are up to her. But, that's another topic and the basis of all this is congruence. Your congruence. You worry much less if you are the one you want to be at that moment and not the one you think will do just fine. This is also how you attract the right people into your life. Take care and see you in the next video.